So here's a super quick video on why UAD Apollo hardware, at least entry-level UAD Apollo hardware, doesn't work for me, but why it may work for you. So this is the older UAD Arrow, but I've also tried the new Apollo Twin X, and I had the same problem with both units. And this is something that didn't really come up in any of the reviews that I watched, not in so much detail anyway, and that is just how quick you use up the onboard DSP in these things. What these essentially do is these replace the processor in your computer, in your laptop, so you can run plugins, very, very good plugins, mind, and very good preamp emulation on here in real time with no latency. But it's 2025, processors, especially Apple ones, are just so lightning fast these days that it's kind of, the USP of these is no longer really relevant because these are slower than what's on board in most modern computers and laptops. So being able to track with these plugins active is fantastic. As I say, the plugins are brilliant, the emulation is excellent, but the workflow not so much. Once you get about 4-5 tracks in, it really starts to chug and that DSP limit gets reached very, very rapidly, and then plugins start disabling, which kind of ruins the experience. There is, of course, ways around it where you can mix down, bounce down things as you go, but that's not always the best workflow. You want to be able to take your time to edit everything, make sure it's good before you do any bouncing down. So although it is a workaround, it's not always the best solution. Also, some of you like me want to be able to unplug and go to the couch and mix there in comfort with my snacks by my side, watching the TV, whatever. You want to be able to mix in comfort sometimes on headphones, but as soon as you unplug that, the plugins no longer work unless you pay for the standalone versions, which is really frustrating. It's not the best. The plugins are so good, but you can't use them if you're not connected, which I've got to disconnect my home studio every time and take this in with me, which is really super clunky. But if you're maybe a solo artist and you're just doing 1 or 2 vocal tracks and maybe an acoustic guitar, something like that, this would absolutely be an amazing way to get really, really professional sounding results without spending a fortune on analog hardware. It also allows you to quickly kind of try out different flavors of preamp, and then if you do end up going down the hardware route, you kind of already have a feel for which ones you like the sound of, which is really helpful. So that is in a nutshell why the entry-level UAD equipment doesn't work for me and my workflow, but also why it might for you.